What's up, Hoopers? Back again with another basketball review video. One that I'm sure you're curious about, one that I'm honestly still quite curious about. It's the Adidas Pro Indoor Game Basketball. Is it the 2? Is it the 3? I don't know. We're going to find out. Let's get into it. Now first, for all you Instagram and TikTok babies who only have an attention span no longer than 30 to 45 seconds, here comes that breakdown. Now before I tell you if it's the 2 or the 3, what I will tell you is how great of a basketball it is. Now I think that the first thing that stands out is the feel of the basketball. The Adidas basketballs, whether it's the 2 or the 3, both have a really nice feel on the surface. One thing that does stand out about the Adidas basketball is how it has the puffy, kind of exaggerated panels. That makes dribbling a little tough, shooting a little difficult to get used to, but as far as the feel and kind of the consistency of your shot when you kind of get it figured out and the dribbling, it's actually really nice. But now, for those of you who want to know if it's the 2 or the 3 or if it's some Amazon knockoff, let's get into that. Now, one thing that I did notice right away about this basketball was this faint gold line. Now, I bought this basketball off of Mercari. I was looking for the 3.0 in a men's 29.5 on the Adidas site. It's been sold out forever. They've got a 28.5. I don't have any girl hoopers. I don't really have a need for any more 28.5 basketballs, so I figured I'm just gonna wait until the 29.5 comes around, or someone decides to sell one on a secondhand site. No one has decided to sell one, which makes me kind of curious about the basketball. That is why I wanted to get this very used one. Now, when I got it, I didn't really do a whole lot of work into the actual basketball. I went right into testing it. I went right into dribbling, shooting, passing, and I actually spent a little more time with this basketball than I have other basketballs in the past, because this one has actually taken some time to get used to in a number of different ways. There are a lot of pros, as far as me personally, that I like, but there also are a lot of cons. I'll get into that in a moment. Now, my honest opinion, if I think it's a 2 or a 3, I'm going to have to say it's probably closer to a 2 than the Adidas 3. The only concern that I have is that there's this faint gold line, which comes up a lot for the Amazon models, but the surface of this basketball looks closer than the 2.0 than the Adidas models that are on Amazon. So I don't quite know which version I got. On top of that, there is a FIBA stamp on this basketball, which I don't think has ever been on an Adidas basketball, which leads me to believe this might be a knockoff. Once again, it's something that happens apparently in the industry. Every once in a while you'll find knockoff basketballs, but for a knockoff, it plays pretty well. Not saying that it is, but if it is what it is. And for it being a knockoff, if it is, it still played pretty well. I enjoyed dribbling with this basketball for a little bit. It definitely took a little bit of time to get used to the shooting. It took a lot of time, to be honest, to get used to the shooting. If there's any comparison that I could put with this basketball, ironically enough, it would be a Nike championship basketball. The main reason is because it has such raised panels, similar to the Nike championship basketballs, that your fingers naturally just slide right into the grooves of the basketball, which is great if you're a shooter because you can find those grooves and get going right away. But for dribbling and layups, it's a little tricky. You've got a lot of great control, but there are times where it feels like the ball kind of drifts away when you're dribbling, or when you're shooting, it kind of sails away at times if you don't have your shot completely dialed in all the way from start to finish. But I will say that once again, the surface of the basketball, it feels great. It's a really nice basketball on feel. I would probably compare it to maybe a Baden Elite, a Nike Championship 7.0. And I'm really comparing it to this basketball. I've played with the 3.0, shout out to my homeboy Mikey, We played pickup maybe about a month ago. He brought a 3.0 to the gym, and let me tell you, it was one of the strangest basketballs I've seen in a while. I was hoping that I could get one online. I might have to hit him up to do a review video of that basketball, because the one thing that I noticed about that basketball more than any basketball that I've ever played with is the return on the dribble for the power that you send. What I'm trying to explain is that I would really just let go of the basketball, and the return bounce was so much more than the force I would send it with. So whenever I would dribble kind of hard with it, the bounce on it was crazy, and it didn't feel like it was overly inflated as well. So that was a very, very, very strange basketball, one that I look forward to reviewing, and I look forward to bringing to all of you. If any of you have an Adidas 2.0, let me know in the comments. If any of you have an Adidas 3.0, let me know in the comments. If any of you have whatever this basketball is, if you know what this basketball is, let me know in the comments. The person that I bought it from on Mercari didn't leave any information about it other than it was a men's basketball, and obviously it was used. So once again, I appreciate all of you for continuing to watch these videos. Please like, subscribe, and you know what we always do. It may be a knockoff, but I'm gonna hoop with it. I promise you that.